Hey guys, it's Nailbiter, and I've got some Battlefield 3 close quarters gameplay here for you guys. I think it's been a little while, at least, since I've posted some close quarters gameplay, and this was a pretty good round. It was kind of an interesting round because I accidentally spawned here without a scope. You'll see I switch to the Red Dead site in a moment, but I'm using the ASVAL, as you can see, and I actually think I'm using it with the Recon class. I thought I'd try running around as the Recon class and placing motion sensors down, which I don't really do for the first half of this gameplay. I think I kind of forget about them. But anyway, yeah, this was a pretty interesting round because it was definitely a close round first of all, and I keep an eye on the ticket count over the course of the round because my team gets down by, I think we're down close to 50 tickets at one point in this round, and we managed to come back and actually end up getting the win. So it was a very close round though, and one that was, you know, for the first half I was getting kind of frustrated. I wasn't playing very well, and you'll see I have a few kind of deaths that were really frustrating and not really my fault, which does happen quite frequently in close quarters. And I also I think I was maybe being a little over aggressive with the way I was playing. So you'll see later where I end up just kind of I can remember telling myself that I should just kind of I was gonna just stay in one sort of area and, you know, kind of patrol near one flag instead of going around trying to capture all the flags that my team doesn't have. And that ends up I end up going on a pretty good kill streak, and we end up able to turn the game around for the team. So I'm using the ASVAL, as I said before, and there you can see I switched to the Red Dead site, although it didn't help me there in that encounter. But for the ASVAL, it's definitely a good close quarters weapon, and I mainly like it because it's silenced, so it just makes less sound and you don't appear on the minimap. As far as I know, you don't appear on the minimap when you shoot, which is really nice. It allows you to kind of flank a little more easily, and I sort of seen that Claymore there. It was looking right in the face, and I guess I just wasn't paying attention. That's one thing that you run into a lot of on close quarters maps, is those claymores. And there I spawn into this guy's LMG fire. I'm not really sure. And this was a 24-player server, which I don't understand why the game couldn't. And I actually just spawned in the same spot there too, but I don't really see why the game couldn't find a better spawn for me. And at least this time I end up getting a couple kills, getting revenge on that guy. But as I was saying, I'm using the ASVAL, and it's really good at close ranges. It's got a really fast fire rate. The damage isn't great, and so one thing that I found when I was using this weapon that can get me into trouble is if your aim is a little off, it can be very easy to waste a lot of bullets. And because the fire rate is so quick that sometimes I'll just be, you know, I'll shoot my bullets so quickly, and if my aim's slightly off, I'll just unload an entire clip and not quite kill the guy that I'm shooting at. So that can get me into trouble a little bit. The reload speed is really fast though, and that's also really nice for close quarters maps because it's good not to have to kind of hide in a corner for a second where you're completely you're just completely open to attack, and you can't and undefended. And you know, it's kind of easy in that second or two to just have somebody come up behind you and get killed. So it's nice to be able to just reload quickly with this gun and not have to worry about that. And I was using I think I just noticed actually, I've watched this replay a couple times, and I just noticed that support guy crawling towards me just before I got killed. It wasn't even him that killed me, but I hadn't seen him before, and I'd actually, even when I'd watched the replay of this gameplay, I hadn't seen him either. So I thought that was kind of funny. And there's another quick death. So at this point I'm getting kind of frustrated. You know, I felt that my team's down by like 50 tickets, close to 50 tickets, and I'm figuring, you know, there's no way we're going to be able to win this round at this point. So I'm going to stop really trying to go all over the place and capture flags, and I'm just going to try to hang out in one area and try to defend that flag and play a little more conservatively, as opposed to, you know, trying to basically do it all for my team. And you know, I don't know if it was just my mindset changing, but all of a sudden things turn around for us, and we start to narrow the ticket count, and then it gets very close at the end. So I do end up picking up a P90 as well, which I get a bunch of kills with, because even though I think somebody in my squad was running squad ammo, and I still, it's very easy to run through ammo with the ASVAL. So I'm now just going to kind of patrol this area by B, and you know, here I see that I was going to go to C because we were losing the flag, and then I realized we're losing B, so I ended up going back. And you know, one thing I'm not sure about with the motion sensors is I think that they, you know, obviously they, you know, people or enemies that are on the same floor as you show up on the minimap, but I think it also kind of beeps if there's enemies within its range that are on other floors, so they don't necessarily show up on the minimap, but it still kind of alerts you to whether or not there are enemies in your vicinity. And you know, I'm not positive about that. Maybe it's just maybe it's something else. I'm not really sure, but I think that might be the case. So the motion sensors definitely come in handy on these close quarters maps, especially because they're so small. They can cover a pretty wide range and make it much easier to, you know, keep track of where the enemy is and to, you know, defend a flag, which is basically what I end up trying to do for the rest of the round. And just around B here, and my teammate saved me right there. I got pretty lucky. I don't know if I would have been able to kill him myself, and then I ended up shooting the health kit that he put down there accidentally. So at this point, I'm just trying to patrol this area around B. And I should actually also say that I think my squad did a pretty good job in this round. You saw me get revived a couple times earlier, and you know, I think in general these guys definitely knew what they were doing, and they did a good job, kind of, you know, working with me and working together to kind of defend flags and capture them and hold the enemy off. So I should mention that, you know, it wasn't like it was me doing this completely by myself. With the comeback, because obviously, you know, you need the team to pick it up in order to make a comeback. It's rare that one person can really turn a match around. So now you can see we're still just about 40 tickets down, just under 40. It's like 35 ticket deficit at this point, and we only have just about 35 tickets left. So the round is getting close to the end, and you can see how every time I kind of leave this B area, it seems like enemies start to cap it, and this is why I think, you know, the most effective way to play close quarters, and but the best way to both help your team out and to do well yourself is not to run around from flag to flag capping everything you possibly can, but instead to hang out in one area and just try to hold one flag. Because I mean, the fact that these maps are so small, and the fact that the spawns can be kind of all over the place sometimes means that it's very easy for enemies to get to a flag that you've just capped, you know, 5 seconds after you've capped it, and for them to just take it right back. So, you know, because of that, it can be very important and very effective to just, you know, not necessarily camp on a flag, but, you know, just patrol an area around a flag, which is I think what you see me doing for the second half of this video. And, you know, obviously I'm able to have a lot more success doing this than I was the first half of this video. So at this point, our team is down just about 20 tickets. We only have 20 tickets left, and we do kind of, for the rest of this round, we hold the majority of the flags on the enemy, and the ticket bleed is so important on Conquest Domination. I mean, it has such a big impact on the ticket count, and so we're actually able to reduce that deficit pretty quickly now. Though the rest of the round, you know, even though we don't have very many tickets left ourselves, the fact that we hold the 2 out of the 3 flags allows us to just make that comeback almost easily. It's, you know, because I mean, you know, obviously killing enemies is important, and reviving teammates is important, but just, you know, holding that ticket bleed is the most important, you know, at all costs pretty much. So you know, here we're actually, now we just took the lead. We basically, because we held 2 out of the 3 flags, we and you know, in the last like 30 seconds or so, we only lost 8 tickets while they lost like 35. And I mean, that's, you know, just from holding 2 flags. So anyway, this round is just about done. I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. I thought I would show you this gameplay. It's kind of a more interesting one than the normal, instead of just it being a one-sided round. You know, it was a tough round, and especially, you know, that first half I kind of struggled, and then was able to turn around the second half of the gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think. And thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys later.